out as hard as I can. I met a girl, bought a house, I put a nice little payment down home.
Hey, happy Sunday. Welcome back. We wanted to make a quick update video while we were doing some of our daily chores, but if you flip back through our videos, the very first one we started right here at the gate, and so we're starting here again to just kind of show some updates on what we've done in the last year. If you look behind me, we're going to kind of walk through here. This is our orchard. We've planted about close to 50 fruit trees, and we got all kinds of varieties, and we'll kind of point those out as we go. And then we're going to end up down there at the chicken house in the garden. So I'm glad you guys are with us.
Hi, follow me through the orchard.
So these first set of trees are apple trees. They're not blooming yet. They're usually the last ones to come out. So we've got a couple rows of those. These ones with the pink blooms are peaches, and they have really nice flowers on them, and they're starting to come out well. And then we go from peaches to pears, and the pears are coming out quite a bit. Here's some of the chickens out grazing, but the pears are coming out well, most of them. Then we have some plums down here once we get past the pears. I think I passed a cherry tree too, but and that's a plum. This is a plum. More plums. We have a couple just interesting varieties. That is a plum cot, which is a cross between an apricot and a plum. And then as we kind of get over here into where the chicken area is, we've got a couple fig trees. You can see one right here, another one over here, and then we've got I believe this is a nectarine. Let me see. This is nectarine. And over here, what is this one, Reagan? I don't even remember. Oh, it's still got a tag. This is a apricot. And last but not least, a pomegranate. So, and this is the chicken area. They kind of go back and forth in here, but mostly graze during the day. And then they go into their run and coop at night. And so we're going to show you how we collect eggs. We've been on vacation, and so we have not collected eggs. My dad did it for part of the time we're gone, but this is probably going to be 2 days worth. Come on, Reagan. So we got a really cool thing. We have a nesting box in the chicken coop that when they lay, it's kind of slanted and the eggs roll out so they don't get dirty, don't get covered in manure or anything. And so they just roll out here and we come and pick them. So let's start picking them, Reagan.
All right.
So right now we're getting about 20 to 25 eggs a day. So that's a lot of eggs. We came home from vacation with about 150 eggs in the fridge. Show us how many eggs you got. Quite a bit, huh? That's a pretty good haul. Okay, let's go over here. We also, in this area, we have one of our bottle calves. Some of you may have seen him on Facebook, but this is Charlie. What's up, buddy? He's just chilling over here in the shade today and having a good time.
Charlie.
So, Charlie's gets fed twice a day with a bottle, and then he's got a lot of green grass in here to eat as well. All right, Reagan, you ready? Bye, Charlie.
Bye.
Just past the chicken coop, we have our garden area, and it's still early, so we don't have a whole lot coming up or planted yet. Most of our plants are still indoors. We start them from seed indoors, but we do have a few things going. Over here, you can barely see them, but there's onions. I had a bunch of tomatoes killed last night in the freeze. I should have put something over them. So those green things were tomatoes yesterday, and now they're pretty much dead. So thankfully I have a bunch more already started inside so we can replace them. But I did not watch the weather close enough last night. These two rows right here that Reagan's about to walk on are carrots. They're not popping up yet. And then we got a couple cabbage back there. These are broccoli, and we got potatoes popping up in these rows here. So Gonna be a whole lot more getting planted over the next couple weeks as the weather starts to warm up, but that is the exterior garden for the moment. Here we have some of our plants that we started indoors. These we kind of wheel them in and out of the garage so they don't get too cold at night. But you can see you've got some strawberries back here. I think I actually saw some red strawberries already on them. And then like this is kale. You got a variety of things in here. These are tomatoes. There's some peppers and all kinds of stuff. And we've got some bigger ones up here. So once they outgrow their little pots, they'll move to some bigger pots. And then we got some more over here. These are, again, just the ones that come in and out at night until they're until it's warm enough to be transplanted. This is a pepper, tomato. This looks like a broccoli possibly. This is lettuce. We've actually already started eating some lettuce off of these. We can trim them, and most of these are all tomatoes. So. And then inside under grow lights, we have even more of these. These are all started from seed. Like you can see, nice lettuce here, and here. A variety of just peppers and broccoli and all kinds of other stuff back in here. And then we have even more of them over here. These are getting sunlight from the window. And eventually these will be transplanted to bigger pots and then eventually move down to the garden. All right, now that we brought our eggs in, we added them with some other eggs that we had got over the last couple days. And just wanted to show the different varieties, but we're gonna take these and we're going to make pickled eggs and egg salad. But you can tell this, we have this type of chicken, mostly this type of chicken, and those are Rhode Island Reds. The darker brown back here is a Welsummer. These are a Barred Rock, and Reagan, what's the green ones? Reagan's favorite.
Olive Eggers.
Those are Olive Eggers. So we have 4 types of chickens. Obviously with more of this kind of chicken, the Rhode Island Reds than any others. So, all right, we're gonna make some pickled eggs, aren't we?
Yep.
Yep, all right, stay tuned. Okay, so the key to making pickled eggs is you gotta boil them first. You know, I know a lot of people haven't eaten pickled eggs, and maybe the first time they hear it, they're like, oh, gross. But it's something you gotta try. It's a way to, you know, obviously if you got a lot of eggs like we do, one thing that you can do to preserve them and get them to last, but they also a really healthy snack. And if you do it right, you can infuse some different flavors into the hard-boiled eggs. So we're gonna add a lot of jalapenos and sweet peppers and red onion and some just different spices and to really give them a lot of flavor. So first thing I'm gonna do is fill up a pot. If you ever are building a house, pot filler is very helpful. So we're gonna get this water boiling, and then we're gonna put our eggs in once it's boiling. All right, we've got 3 pots of eggs boiling. We kind of use the method of start to get the water boiling, lower the eggs into the boiling water with a big spoon, and we boil them for about 10 minutes. And then we're gonna immediately transfer them into an ice bath. And the general idea behind that is it should hopefully make them easier to peel. So when you're peeling 60 hard-boiled eggs, you want them as easy to peel as possible. Pulling them out of the boiling water now and moving them over to the ice water. All right, we're back. The eggs are all boiled and peeled. So we have, I think we did a total of about 60. For making pickled eggs, you want the egg to be perfect without any imperfections. And when you're peeling 60 eggs, that's almost impossible for every one of them. So the ones that, you know, weren't perfect, we put over here, and these will make egg salad out of. But these ones are for our pickled eggs. I have chopped up some of the stuff that's going in the jars with them. So we have fresh jalapeno, red onion, and I have some sweet peppers. that we're gonna go in, and then these are the spices. Our brine is boiling and it's just about done. We do a mixture of white vinegar and apple cider vinegar and sugar and salt. So I did 1 quart of, a half a quart each of white and apple cider vinegar. And then I did a quart of water, so you kind of an equal, 1 quart of water, 1 quart of vinegar. I did a cup and a half of sugar, and I did 5 tablespoons of salt. I am not canning these in the traditional sense of canning. We're gonna refrigerate these, but if you were canning, you could use a canning and pickling salt. I did not do that, I just used regular salt. We plan on eating these fairly quickly, but if you can them. So what I'm gonna do now, I've got these jars, I've just boiled these jars to disinfect them, and so they are nice and hot and ready to go. We're gonna just start layering. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a layer with some of our spices on the bottom. I'm gonna do a little bit of peppercorns in each jar. I'll probably add some more before all said and done. I'm gonna do a big tablespoon of garlic in each one. This is minced garlic. You could use cloves as well. I didn't have any, so we're using minced garlic. Since this jar is twice the size, I'm gonna do a little extra in that one. We've got red pepper flakes. So we want these eggs to be spicy and to have some heat. Once we seal them all up, we are going to leave them in the fridge for a minimum of a week, but probably more like 2 minimum. We've got some coriander. But that couple weeks in the fridge will allow the heat to sink into the eggs and give it just a really good taste. We have some mustard seed. And I have some dill. So I have dried dill. I also have some fresh dill that we're growing from our garden. So I'm gonna add a sprig of fresh dill into each one as well. But I'm gonna add some dried dill in as well. And I'm gonna do a sprig of fresh dill in each of them. And then I'm gonna put this plant back under the growing lights so it will continue to grow and produce more dill for us. So we got a fresh sprig of dill in each jar. Now we're gonna start layering with eggs. So in these smaller jars, it's about 3 eggs across the bottom. And then I'm going to fill in a layer of some of our other ingredients. So we're gonna throw some jalapenos in on top, some onions, and some sweet peppers. And then we're just gonna repeat and do another layer of eggs. And 1, 2. If you're growing your own eggs, this is a great thing that you can do for your smaller eggs. I know if we're selling eggs, you want to sell the larger ones, but this is, obviously you can get more small eggs in a jar than you can big eggs. All right, so we're gonna layer it again. Actually, halfway through, I'm gonna add a little bit more of our spices. And more dill. And then we're gonna go another layer again. And get as many in here as we can. And another layer of this. Onions, some peppers. And we'll see if we can get a few more eggs in there. Remember, we still gotta get our brine in. So once I get this about as full, I think that's about as full as I'm gonna get it. Okay, we got our jars filled. Now we're gonna add the brine to it. This is still steaming hot, like that. And we're just gonna fill that jar to the top. Goodness, probably a better way to do this. Like not spilling it is a better way to do it. That roll the way up to the top. It looks like I made the perfect amount though. All right, add a little bit more here. A little bit more here, and we are done. All right, that's it. So jars are full. We got the brine in them. Don't those look delicious? So now we're going to put our lids on. That heat will seal these lids well.
I love pickled eggs.